Are we
Are we
on? Are we
live?
live? I think
I think
so.
Jinx.
I think so. It seems to be working. Yay! Hello,
Yay!
welcome. All right, welcome to Renegade Con, March 2022. We're really happy to be here. We have so much to go through that we need to jump right in. So I'm gonna very quickly, Sarah, how are you doing? How's it going?
I'm awesome. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing great, but I don't know if we can get through this entire list in 1 hour. I think we may.
It's kind of a Renegade theme. Like, we just tend to do a lot of stuff and make a lot of really fun games. And it's hard to talk about all of them in just an hour, but we're going to try.
we're going to try. I mean, and we won't cut anything out. We're going to go through the whole list. Sit back, get some popcorn. We're going to go through everything. So in the next 1 hour, we're going to give you a very brief glimpse of almost everything that we have coming for 2022. I say almost everything. There's definitely some stuff that, we weren't quite ready to announce, but that may show up this year. But this is almost complete. But then after we give you a very brief glimpse and make some announcements and tell you some things, throughout the next day and a half, there's going to be deep dive panels, and we're going to tell you where those are happening as we're going through our list today for the next 1 hour or so. And what we do is we recommend that if you have a specific interest, then you tune into those deep dive panels where the brand teams are going to be going into the details and more of the details of what we're going to tell you about today. And that's pretty much the plan. If for some reason you aren't tuning in live and you see this a little later, all these videos will hopefully be pre-recorded for you, and we will put them up on our YouTube channel for viewing later. So you can tell your friends, or you can link it in all the groups and Discord and everything else. And yeah, you can tune in later. So somebody just said in chat, are we almost done with Just Wait? We will never with Just Wait. This is the stuff that we are no longer going to make you wait for. We are already working on things for 2020, 2023, 2024. We've always had plans, but let's get into it. Let's start, because if not, what are we forgetting? We already forgot something.
A few housekeeping notes. Almost.
Oh, okay.
So just so everybody knows, we're all about community here at Renegade, and we have a Discord channel, which is sort of the hub of our community space. And on Discord this whole weekend, we're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. So definitely stop by, join the community, check it out, and hopefully maybe you'll win something. And if you want to figure out where the link is to that Discord channel, just go to renegadegames.com. There's a big banner there that says Renegade Con. Click on that. You'll find the full schedule for all the events, link to our Discord, link to our Twitch channel, everything else that you could possibly need. So just go there and you'll be in the right place. All right, we're running out of time. Let's do this.
We better get started. All right, yeah. What's first, Sarah? What's first?
So we're going to talk about G.I. Joe, and similar to the way that we set up our other panels for this weekend, we're going to talk about all of the G.I. Joe themes, and then we'll go on and talk about all of the Transformers themes and so on. So one really big thing that we just announced for G.I. Joe is a brand new game, Mission Critical. And if you didn't watch Scott's live stream on Hasbro Pulse about this, then you're missing out, and you should go find that stream and watch it because it was great. What do you want to tell us about this one, Scott?
So this is based on the Guardian system. So those of you that are familiar with Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, the game engine behind that is the Guardian system. And now we are introducing G.I. Joe onto that system, and you will be able to play that. It's a cooperative game. You get together, you form your team of Joes, you fight against Cobra. But the really cool thing is that because this is on the same game engine, these are compatible.
I know we have lots of questions about that. That's pretty huge. So that'll be lots of fun.
It is pretty huge. So of course, these will be two separate lines. G.I. Joe releases will be G.I. Joe releases, and Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid will be Heroes of the Grid releases. But what you do with them at home, you can live out your crazy stories and fantasies, and you can have mixed teams, and Cobra can team up with Rita if she wants, and if Cobra Commander and Rita can stand each other, I don't know, probably not. But yeah, it's compatible, and lots of plans and possibilities for the future. So I think we're opening pre-orders for that pretty soon, right?
Yeah, actually, again, if you go to renegadegames.com, the second banner in our carousel right at the top is a link straight to our pre-order reminder newsletter. So if you want to get signed up for that, just go to our website and you'll find that link on there. And the pre-orders are going to open up in April. And we have a special thing for everybody who pre-orders this, because we know that there are some characters that just everybody loves. So we're going to give everyone who pre-orders this a free promo figure of Snake Eyes, which is, of course, one of the most exciting characters in this world, and we can't wait to be able to share that with everybody. But we have tons more stuff in there too. So this promo will be for everybody, and then we also have a few other things that we haven't even shown you yet. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be revealing more things as we get closer to that pre-order campaign. Also, if you love G.I. Joe and you want to see some of the figures from this game, the first place you're going to really be able to dig into those is on a painting stream that we're doing at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And our friend Louie is going to be doing some painting for us. You can see all the wonderful details on that stream, 4 o'clock tomorrow on this channel.
Yep. So tune in. So yeah, lots to be revealed. So again, we're just giving you a quick overview. Mission Critical was announced. Let's move on. What's next in G.I. Joe land?
We also revealed a deck building game late last year, and the first core game of the deck builder is already out. You can watch lots of how to play videos about that, but we have expansions coming. So starting in June this year, we have Shadow of the Serpent is our next expansion. This is going to be a small box expansion, and in this one you actually get to build the command center. So great place for your Joes to hang out.
Right. All new missions. And then I believe also a bonus box for pre-orders.
Yeah, if you pre-order this on our site, which starts right now, you can actually go to our site right now and pre-order most of the things that we're talking about. Not everything, like I said, for Mission Critical, you have to wait a little bit, but for this, you can actually go and pre-order right now. And you will also automatically get this pre-order bonus box, which will be free now. But if you wait too long, then we'll have these available for sale on our site later. But you don't want to do that. You want to pay for this, just go pre-order for now.
Right, right. So you can pre-order for now, but don't leave. Don't leave.
Don't leave.
make a little list, open another tab or something, but don't leave because there's more. Don't just wait. There's more. So Shadow of the Serpent looks awesome. I have to tell you, like, this is all my dreams are coming true as a kid that grew up reading G.I. Joe comic books and watching the show. Like, the kid down the street actually introduced me to G.I. Joe. Like, the month that the comic book came out, he brought it over to my house and lent it to me to read, and I never gave it back.
What? So, you're such a jerk.
I mean, you know, I don't think he ever asked for it. I don't remember. Like, he was a friend. Like, I don't think it was malicious. It was, you know, typical kid, like, wow, this is really cool. And then I would ride my bike down to the store and we would buy new issues. Like, number 2 was like all in the snow. It's like, this is awesome. So, like,
wait, being able to snow?
Snow, yeah. The second issue of the comic book was in the snow.
Well, that's interesting, because the next thing we have to talk about is another expansion for the G.I. Joe deck building game, which is Cold Snap. And I'm super excited about this one because I love snow, and that is going to be the new terrain type in this one.
That's right. So this is a small box expansion, correct? Just like Shadow of the Serpent?
Yes, but even though it's a small box, we didn't want to let you down. So you will still also get a pre-order bonus box with the pre-order of this one as well.
Yep. Cool. And so how does that work? Like, what's the difference between a small box expansion and a big box expansion? So they're all still compatible, but not standalone. Is that correct?
Good question. So you do need the core game to play this. We do occasionally make big box expansions that are standalone and you can just play them right out of the box, or you can play them with the core game. But for this one, you actually do need to have the core game first. So make sure you go and find the core game, either at your friendly local game store or on our website, and order that first if you don't have that already. And we've had a blast playing that one. So if you haven't tried it yet, please do. If you like G.I. Joe, you're going to love it.
Yeah. And then I saw somebody in chat was asking, Cold Snap, I don't believe is available for pre-order, but Shadow of the Serpent is. And
Sorry about
so
that.
I mean, you'll kind of see stuff like that, which is probably okay because they're not going to ship at the same time, and we don't want you to pre-order something too far in advance. So that's fine. All right, so that's deck building game overview. Remember, you're going to get to tune in tomorrow, or no, tomorrow? Yeah, no, live today for a deep dive into G.I. Joe. But before we're done with G.I. Joe, we need to talk about the role-playing game.
Yeah, so the role-playing game is actually coming out on March 29th. We are so close to this. It is currently being moved from our printer over to our warehouse, where we're going to then start shipping it out. And it should be arriving very, very soon to everyone who has pre-ordered that. And there's both the core game, which is what you can see up here on the screen right now, and then also the deluxe edition, which they're both the same price. You can pre-order either one that you want. They both come with a free PDF, which is great as well. And if you even want to play them on Roll20, that's also an option. Pre-orders are open for that as well.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's coming soon.
It's awesome. So yesterday, my samples came in. So super excited. My wife was like, oh yeah, there's a package that's been sitting out in the kitchen for you all day. I'm like, all day? Are you kidding?
I love the texture on the deluxe version. It just feels really nice and high quality. I got mine the other day too. I was excited.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, so that's the core book, but there's more stuff coming for the role-playing game. So what do we have next?
Well, of course, if you're going to be playing an RPG, you want to have all of your stuff with it. So just like our other RPGs, if you've been following along, we also have special dice. We've got the GM screen that comes with a special adventure, the Emerald Oubliette, and also a dice bag. So we've got lots of everything that you need to get started. Of course, if you don't have the dice right away, I know they're going to be a little bit later. Those are coming out in May. So if you don't have these special dice, it's okay. You can play with whatever dice you have around. But these dice are really nice and fancy. So it'll be fun when they arrive. And then we also have another thing we haven't announced yet, haven't revealed. This is a whole new 4-part adventure called Operation Cold Iron that's coming out this summer. And that is going to start off where Emerald Oubliette leaves off. And it'll be a level up adventure for your Joes from level 2 to level 6.
Right. So play the Emerald Oubliette, and then you can jump into Operation Cold Iron. And, you know, like for those of you that are new to role-playing games, you don't have to play these like in like strictly linear order. You can go and have, you know, you can play Emerald Oubliette, and then you can go off and play homegrown adventures as a GM, and then you can jump into campaign books. And even though things are structured for different levels, that doesn't mean, you know, with a little experience, you can take source material and suit it to your needs. So if for some reason your Joes go off on some of your own original adventures and then are a higher level, you can still then use that and adapt it and just up the threat level. You know, throw more bad guys at them, and they'll have fun. So yeah, so that's really exciting.
And if you're going to be making up your own stuff or even playing one of these adventures, another really handy thing to have available is a character journal. So this is a nice book that is sort of like a really expanded character sheet. It's got spaces in there for you to document pretty much everything that happens in your game, and also just give you some ideas for things that you might want to include in your game.
Right. Yeah, this is like a 30-page character sheet. It's insane. And then there's extra pages for you to take notes for all your different adventures for your play sessions. So, you know, you can sketch stuff in there and take notes, and then keep kind of a journal. So this is kind of a fun thing. If you're new to role-playing games, I've been doing this for years for campaigns that I play in, and it's really fun then to go and look back at, you know, campaigns that may be completed and you moved on to new characters or played a new game. But it's really neat. It also helps keep you organized, which is a good thing too. So
that would never be a problem for anyone like me role playing. Oh no. Well, another thing that does keep you organized during the game is the next thing we wanted to announce, which I'm really excited about this too. We are going to be making hero miniature sets specifically for the RPG. Do you want to tell us about those, Scott?
Yeah, so these miniatures are, like Sarah said, made for the RPG. They're on 28 millimeter bases, sized bases to fit a typical role-playing game grid, right? Like a 1-inch square. So why are these different than Heroes of the Grid miniatures and Mission Critical miniatures? So they're a different scale. The Guardian system works on basically humans are roughly about 48 millimeters tall, and the role-playing miniatures are about 28 millimeters tall. And we do what's commonly known as heroic scale. So that 28 millimeter size is generally to the character's eyes, right? So, and heroes are, right? Heroes should look heroic. So it gives them a nice table presence. So with these, we're taking typical Joes that you know from canon and giving you examples of those. And then we're expecting you to then be able to customize them. So if you get Scarlet, you don't obviously have to play Scarlet. We wouldn't expect anybody to play a canon character, but then you can take these as templates and then customize them and make them your own. So we have plans. We're going to be supporting this with multiple releases, but this is the very first one. You'll see Hero Miniature Set #1. Those of you that have followed some of our other miniatures board game products know we like to number things because we're going to continue and we're going to give you more. So this is the very first one, and it's coming out this summer.
So Scott, I'm a little confused. These are only Joes, but what do I do with these on the table if they're only Joes out there? Isn't there a bad guy that they're fighting against? What's up with that?
I mean, there will be bad guys for very short periods of time because Joes defeat all their enemies and are always victorious. But yes, there's bad guys. So we are also going to be putting out a line of what we're calling accessory packs. And accessory packs are boxed sets with cardboard standees and standee bases. And these will correspond to support different books and storyline releases that we're putting out. So for example, the core book, the very first accessory pack will support the adventure that comes in the core book and all the different threats and things like that come in the core book, and also the adventure and content that comes with the GM screen and adventure. And there will be cardboard standees, there will be map tiles, and there will be stat block cards for those threats. So it makes it easier for the GM that's running the game to be able to have the information for those threats to run those adventures. And we have a whole line of those planned, actually across all the brands. So we will be supporting your gameplay with that. Doesn't mean we won't do bad guy miniatures in the future, but when you need, 12 Cobra troopers, it's a little bit more cost effective for GMs and players to be able to use standees. We're also adding vehicles. So when you have, a Cobra Hiss tank and you want to put some guys on it, you can put them on their map tile and place them on the map and send a bunch of bad guys out there to mess up the Joes. Like the Joes need things to shoot. So, lots of stuff.
Speaking of Joe's needing things to shoot, what if I'm a GM and I want an entire source book that has to do with more bad guys?
Oh yeah, so nothing would be complete. I mean, I've seen people asking for this in the chat and they're like, I really hope that they give us a book about Cobra. Of course we're going to give you a book about Cobra. Are you kidding? Cobra Commando wouldn't stand for it. The guy's constantly sending us emails like, what about me? I can't believe that you haven't given them a book about me. These stupid, ridiculous Joes first. The guy's just, he's relentless. So yes. The Cobra source book will release later this summer. It is in the works now. I believe the writing on it is pretty much done. We are actually we're finishing up the art right now. We've been art directing the cover. It's awesome. Cobra Commander and his troops will be getting their own book and lots of attention. So don't worry. Cobra fans, we got you covered.
We have a lot coming out that has to do with that, and we'll be releasing around that book. So that's going to be fun. We'll tell you more about it soon. And if you want a little bit of a deep dive on that, please, or any of the other G.I. Joe things that we talked about, make sure you tune in today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we're going to be doing an entire G.I. Joe tabletop games panel. So don't miss that. But that's all the time we have for G.I. Joe. That was very exciting, but it's time for Transformers.
We're 23 minutes in and we've done one brand.
Oh no.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Transformers.
No more chit chat. What's going on with Transformers, Sarah? What's first up?
Well, many of you probably know we released the Transformers deck building game late last year. And again, on sort of the theme of we want to have more bad guys, more threats, we are releasing the first expansion of this called A Rising Darkness. I know a few of you have seen this in some rumors out there about this, but in this one you actually get to play as the Decepticons, which I think is going to be very fun. And as we mentioned before, we do sometimes make standalone big box expansions, and this is one of those. So it is essentially equivalent to the first big box that we put out, which was the core game. We got to play as the Autobots. Now you got to play as the Decepticons in this big box expansion. And another important thing about this is that you can actually combine this with the core set and do team versus team games.
That's right. Yep. So awesome. And there's bonus pack up for pre-order now, right? I believe.
Yes, this is available for pre-order now. And we learned a lot about shipping out the first bonus pack, and this will go much better than the first one. So yeah, we appreciate your patience.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, the last bonus pack, trust me, folks, you weren't happy, we weren't happy. Changes have been made.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Very good changes have been made. In fact, this is probably a good time to mention for any of our Canadian or Australian friends that we are actually working on testing a whole new way to get all of our fun games shipped straight to your door from our web store. So again, we appreciate your patience. We are just in the final testing stages of being able to make that happen. And that's going to be a whole new system for both the US and also Canada and Australia. So all of our shipping and logistics should be smoothed out a little bit. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, the team's working really hard right now, trying to set up all these new shipping locations around the world and launching websites that support all those shipping locations in the current environment of this kind of like global shipping logistics meltdown. It's a little bit like flying a kite in a hurricane, but we're managing to get it done. It's just not the most not the easiest time to do it. Okay, so
we're getting there.
We're getting there.
All right, so
we're getting there. What's next?
That's Rising Darkness. That's coming out in June, and right on its heels is the next expansion. This is a small box expansion, and it is called Infiltration Protocol. So what will we expect to find in this one, Scott?
So new characters such as the Wreckers and Six Shot. So we've got those guys in there. I don't think they want us to tell us too much more, but there's a new game mode, 1 versus many. So one player then can take on their friends, the 3 others. So definitely tune in to the deep dive panel on this one if you want to know more. But small box expansions, you have to play it with one of the core boxes, but new game mode, new characters, new ways to play. And of course, a bonus pack will come out with this for pre-orders.
Surprise.
So people get that, and that's lots of fun. And then we have one more deck building game release planned for this year for Transformers. So that's 3 new pieces of content for the deck building game this year. It's really funny because I've seen people that are new to Renegade. They're like, they put out the base game. Do you think they're going to put out more stuff and support this? It's like, wow, you just don't know us at all, do you? Like try to
stop.
Yeah, try to stop us. Like there's just like too much. Like we're fans too, and we're going to make the things. So one more release right around the end of the year. What's that one called, Sarah? Tell people. I think people are going to be happy when they hear what this one is.
I'm happy about this one. Dawn of the Dinobots. So you'll actually get to play as some prehistoric type things here. It should be lots of fun. So this will feature Devastator on a giant-sized card. Again, there's a lot more in my notes about this one, but I think we're going to leave that to the team that's going to be talking about this at 2:00 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday during the Transformers live panel. And you can ask them all your questions there.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Next one. Next one, are we doing Transformers RPG, of course. Woo.
Very nice. So again, just like Power Rangers, just like G.I. Joe, we have the core rulebook, but there will also be a deluxe edition of this that will be limited printing, and we don't quite have a cover revealed for that. So you'll want to make sure that you pay attention to our social media, and as we get a little bit closer, we're going to be revealing that very soon.
Yep.
So along with that, we also, of course, have a fantastic dice set that is specific for Transformers, a dice bag to keep all of those dice nice and cozy, and also a GM screen and adventure, a beacon of hope that will come with that GM screen. Just to get you started, there's an adventure in the book, but then another adventure for you to play as soon as you have gotten your bearings on the system.
Right. So lots of cool stuff. And then, of course, character journal. Did you mention character journal? You must have said character journal.
Not yet, but yes, that is also happening.
Character journal. So, right. So, you know, if we give it to one, we're going to give it to everything else. So it's like a really cool, very in-depth character journal, like we mentioned for G.I. Joe. Like basically a mega character sheet that just gives you lots of space to put in lots of stuff about your character and flesh them out, and then keep track of your adventures. So
I just noticed in chat that Dark Universe Project is very, very smart and may know something that's coming up. What do you think?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, you're not watching chat. Caught you. So we are also spoiling that we are, of course, doing a Decepticon source book. And that's again, no big surprise, but we're very excited for that. And it's coming out this fall.
That's right. So lots of cool stuff coming for Transformers starting this summer. And I know people are curious, how do you build a Transformer?
It's a really good question. I don't know how to do that.
No, I mean, you probably need to put in some work and you need plans. But I guess if you tune in 3 o'clock Pacific time on Saturday, tomorrow is Saturday. Somebody told me this. You can learn how to build a character for the Transformers role-playing game.
And that's very handy because it's right after the Saturday live panel at 2 o'clock Pacific time that is just all about Transformers. So come for the live panel where you'll learn about all of the Transformers tabletop games, and stay for the How to Build a Character panel that starts at 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's smart. Whoever put together this schedule, like, kind of knew what they were doing. Oh, nice.
It's like we were thinking about this. Amazing.
Amazing. Okay.
And
so
speaking of being organized, you've noticed that we've talked about 3 wonderful, exciting things already. G.I. Joe, Transformers. Oh wait, it's only 2. We only got through 2. Okay, well, the third thing we're talking about is My Little Pony. And I have to say, this is the thing that I'm most excited about for this year. No offense to all the other stuff, but like personally, I'm going straight back to my childhood with this one.
It's amazing how many people in the company, when they heard about My Little Pony, jumped up and were doing a little happy dance. So that's pretty cool. All right. So first in the My Little Pony list of goodness is the deck building game, Adventures in Equestria. Tell us about that, Sarah.
So this again is our core set, and we will have more coming out later, but we gotta start somewhere. So this is a core set, and it is a cooperative game. We're gonna be traveling around Ponyville to overcome hurdles. And of course it's cooperative. It's My Little Ponies. Wouldn't make sense without it. The thing that I am maybe most excited about so far for this is that all of those other bonus packs we've given out are fine. You get to put like together the little G.I. Joe hanger that's 3D and it holds all your tanks and things. Okay, that's great. But this bonus pack is amazing. You actually get meeples of all of your favorite ponies. So that's our free pre-order bonus with this. Don't miss it. They're super adorable and they're going to be useful in the game as well.
I love the meeple thing. I remember when this came up at one point and they were like, can we just do meeples? Because I think at one point they were like, you know, cardboard like cutouts and things like that. And it's like, can we just do meeples? And it's like, sure, of course, let's just do meeples. So there you go.
Those are one little pony meeples. They're so cute. And it is a deck building game. So of course, the first thing that you thought of was like, let's just make some more cards. But that's not as fun. We wanted meeples. So we're giving everybody pony meeples. Very excited about that.
Yeah. it's really funny how everybody benefits because we selfishly want things for ourselves. So we just make them and then we just say like, yeah, you know what? Like I want that. So everybody else would probably want that too. So let's just do it. Might not always be the smartest, like, you know, P&L decision. Like, you know, there's some places they would cut some corners and go like, no, you know, do those as cardboard chits. But we're like, well, that's not what we want. So that's not what we're doing. So that's
nope, I wanted pony meeples.
That's right. Sarah may have held her breath and threatened. So,
oh dear. And of course, just like our other deck building games, this is not a one and done. We have another expansion that's coming out this fall, and we will be telling you more about that as we get a little bit closer. But the name of it is Familiar Faces.
That's
so
right.
make sure you check that out and go to our website to pre-order the core box, and we'll have Familiar Faces up for pre-order in a little while. Not quite yet.
Right.
But
so the core box is releasing in June. Familiar Faces will be out this fall. But what if I want to know, how do I play this game? Like, I want to see it. Show me how My Little Pony plays, Sarah. Tell me.
Well, luckily, we actually put together a copy of this, even though it's not coming out till June. We went to extra effort to make a early copy of this, and we shipped it to one of our favorite people in the industry, Christopher Chun. You might know him as the designer of Lanterns, and he has been helping out with this game, doing some development work. And he actually has a copy of this at his house, and he's doing a live play of this tomorrow, Saturday, at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. And you'll get to see him playing with Amanda McKnight, Billy Chandler, and Mandy Gelsum, who will all be playing this game. And you'll get to see the very, very first look of how this works.
That's right. So tune in. Chris is doing an awesome job on the game. He's actually our lead designer on the line moving forward. So we're really happy. And he's a huge pony fan. So it was kind of like, it was very similar. Like I had no idea, kind of like when Jonathan Ying, when I talked to him about designing Heroes of the Grid, I had no idea that he was a huge Power Rangers fan. We were just talking about doing design projects together. And then he was like, yeah, Scott, I totally want to do Power Rangers because, you know, it's just my life. So there you go. All right. Next.
Awesome. Well, of
Role-playing.
course, we're also doing a role-playing game. Imagine that. Right. And this is the first reveal of the cover. We just barely finished this up and got it approved 2 days ago. So we're excited to get to show this off. We will also be doing a deluxe. We'll also be doing dice. We'll also be doing a dice bag. And we'll also be doing a GM screen that comes with an adventure called In a Jam. And we'll be showing off more images of those in next couple months because all of those are coming out this summer.
Yeah,
and I love the dice for this. They're so pretty.
The dice are amazing. Yeah, the dice are going to look super, super cool.
This picture does not do them justice. They are actually glittery. There's so many sparkles.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you have to do sparkly dice. I have the dice bag. I just got the proof right before it goes into mass production. Arrived the other day. I've got it here. It's really cool and fun. And my wife has already tried to steal it from me. And I told her, no, she cannot have my Little Pony bag. I need it as a sample. Eventually I will just get her one of her own. So there you go.
That makes sense. All I know is I'm going to put my dice and my pony meeples in that bag. I'm very excited about them.
Yeah.
I'm also excited that we are also doing a character journal for this. And I'm going to take all sorts of elaborate notes about my ponies in that character journal while I'm playing this. Cannot wait. And we also have another book on the horizon called Dark Skies Over Equestria Adventure Book. So what is that one going to be, Scott?
Oh, so an adventure book is where you can sit down. There's a tool for the GM, for their players, where I get a series of adventures, bit of a kind of, small campaign where we can go off on adventures, and it makes it easier for us to jump into the game and play, where the GM doesn't have to come up with all homegrown stories and threats and build everything out. So I get a big kind of book adventure right off the shelf. So it kind of gets you playing and gives you more content. So that's the plan there. You'll see kind of a pattern. We're trying to do that with all of the lines because we know that a lot of people that are playing these games may be new to role-playing games and don't have a lot of experience GMing. but even people that do have a lot of experience GMing, you know, time is precious, and sometimes you just don't have time to craft a whole campaign. You know, here's 6-8 weeks worth of content for my group. So it's nice to be able to just pull something down and go play. So there you go.
I really appreciate that, because there is an adventure in the core book to get you started. There's an adventure that comes with that GM screen if you want to continue, and then a whole book of adventures coming out in the fall. So you'll be all set. You'll have lots of ways to play this. You won't be stuck trying to figure out your own stories. So I'm really excited about that. And then we also will be showing off all of this My Little Pony stuff, the deck builder, the RPG, everything that we have so far that we can talk about will be in our reveals panel at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, Saturday. Can't wait.
Yeah, tune in. All right.
It'll be fun.
One more before we move on to darker things. So
I think we might have a few people in chat possibly who are Power Rangers fans. Is that true? Chat?
Probably.
Are you there? Maybe. Well, if that's true, which I think it probably is, we have quite a few things to share with you. We did put out the deck building game for Power Rangers late last year, and we've already released one expansion for that, but we have three more expansions coming this year? It is.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
going to be lots of fun. What's that first one that's coming out, Scott?
The card team's been busy. So the very first one is Omega Forever, which will release in June and will be a small box expansion. So you need the core game to play with it. Omega Rangers versus the Anointed will be the theme for this box. Over 80 new cards. Fusion Zords allow for high-powered combinations. And of course, a bonus pack for pre-orders. So yeah, there you go. So June, this one is, June releases, they're on a boat, so to speak, or actually literally. So on the way. So yeah, it's right around the corner. You can pre-order that. But then the next one, I've seen a lot of chatter for this over the last couple of years for this theme. So what do we got coming up after that in August?
Yeah, so later this year, our very first expansion targeting this Ranger group will be RPM, Get in Gear expansion. This coming out in August. It's also a small box expansion. And in this one, we're going to the apocalyptic wasteland of Power Rangers RPM, which sounds really grim. I don't know about that. Are we ready for this?
We're ready for this.
We'll be able to handle it? Okay. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So it'll feature Ranger operators of Corinth City and the machine army of Vendrix Virus. That sounds really scary. I hope we can handle this, but it should be a little bit easier if you pre-order, because it'll come with a foil pre-order pack that is just for our pre-order fans, straight from our site, Renegade exclusive.
Nice.
So that pre-order will be showing up a little bit later. I believe we have Omega Forever Rangers up now, and if RPM isn't up there quite yet, give us some time, we'll get there.
Yeah.
And then the last expansion for this year is Flying Higher, and of course we're going to space with this one. So in October we have a small box expansion featuring Andros and his team of Space Rangers. We're going to get to fight to rescue Zordon, which is always important, because we don't want Zordon to be damaged, right? Is damaged the right word?
Well, emotional damage, physical damage. Damage is bad.
Emotional damage for sure. So that's what we have going on for the deck building game over the next year. That's a lot of stuff. That'll really add to the game, make it more challenging. Should be fun.
So deck building fans, we've got you covered. But let's move on now.
Ooh, to the RPG. All right. If you've already gotten a chance to play the RPG, please let us know in chat. I've seen tons of posts about this in our Power Rangers group on Facebook, and it seems like people are really having a blast with this. But we didn't want to let you down and make you feel like we're done. We put out the book. Okay, that's it. There's still a lot more coming for this, of course. Right.
Well, and we just finished up Ranger Month. So if you didn't follow along with Ranger Month, there's a bunch of free content. We've released some content every single week over the last month. during launch. You can go up on the Renegade website right now. There's a bunch of free PDF stuff up there, some new threats. There's a threat guide. We also posted an FAQ for people. So all that sort of stuff. And we'll be doing that every time we roll out a new RPG game. So Joe's fans, don't worry. Joe month is already planned. It's happening. Don't worry, it's cool. But yeah, so Power Rangers, of course, Dice, right? Dice are coming out in June. Dice and Dice Bag.
And so for Power Rangers, this is a little bit special, and you probably all already know this, but we aren't coming out with just one dice set, even though green is the only dice set that you really need because it's the best color ever. We also decided to give you colors for several of the other Rangers as well. So we've got 6 different colors. Go check them out on our website, and those are coming out in June. They're on their way now. And also a dice bag, so you can store all your fabulous dice, and a character journal. And we actually got to show you this one. So the character journal that will be up in a second will be that 30 pages of your character sheet plus a ton of space for notes. How many pages are actually in this book?
So the character journals are all 80 pages, and about 30 to 40 or so are predetermined pages that are, like I said, like a mega character sheet, which just gives you all sorts of space to put information in about your character and your group of players and your whole team and everything else. And then more pages that are just, for you to take notes and keep notes in on your campaign and your adventure of your team. So yeah, 80 page, each one, same size, but has different treatments depending on, what they are. Trying to make them all, kind of unique and slick, and they're really cool. These are super exciting. These are all going into production like literally right now as we speak, and we'll start releasing in June for all of our RPGs.
Awesome.
Yeah, very exciting.
This next thing, I don't think people are expecting this.
Maybe not. I mean, there's been some chatter. I think some people have predicted it, but we don't think we've said it. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So next thing we have to support our Power Rangers RPG are actually special miniatures just for the RPG. So here is the hero set miniature set number 1. And this only shows 6, but there's actually 12 characters in this box. Yeah, Scott?
Yep. So a bunch of different Rangers. What we've done is these are all based on actual Rangers from canon. And we're trying to give you a breadth of examples of different costume types, and accessories and weapons and that sort of thing. So then you can customize these and paint them up the way they best represent your character that you're creating for your game. We have lots of plans, but once again, these are RPG scale size, right? So 28 millimeter heroics fit on a 1-inch grid. They will work with the accessory packs, the accessory boxes that we talked about when we were talking about G.I. Joe. We have those planned across all the different lines. So they will support the adventure books that we've been talking about, and the adventures that are written, for the GM screen and in the core books and all of that good stuff. So yes, RPG fans, we didn't forget about you. Don't worry. We knew this was going to thing. Again, there was no way we were going to make role-playing games that we want to play and not have miniatures to put on the table. Like, we wouldn't stand for it, and we wouldn't expect you to. So here we go.
Yay.
All right.
And of course, we also want more adventures to go along with the Power Rangers role-playing game as well. So we have a whole book called Adventures in Angel Grove that's coming out this fall. This is a 4-part adventure where you get to level up from 1 to 5, and it just makes your life as a GM easier and make sure that your players get a really great experience.
Yep. So I think that's a mistake in our list. This is gonna come out sooner than fall for sure. This is very, too many things. This is very close to going to the printer. So yes, it's very, very close. So yeah, 4-part adventure. Again, there will be an accessory box to support this that will come out in the future as well. So lots of cool stuff. All right, but that's not all. Oh no, you're muted.
Oh no, sorry. So much fun stuff for Power Rangers coming out. So we also have another whole big rule book. This is a source book just made for space combat and other advanced roles. This is called Across the Stars. And we're going to be sharing more about this as we get a little bit closer. This, I do believe, is coming out in the fall. Yeah.
Yes, that is accurate. That's correct. So this one will introduce information for Gold, Silver, and Phantom Rangers. Lots of new threats. I will tell you, in this book, one of the threats that are in here are the Psycho Rangers, some of my favorites. So you are going to get Psycho Rangers in a in Across the Stars book. So there you go. But there's still one more book in the works for Power Rangers role-playing game. So once again, like I've seen I don't know if they're going to support this, and there's going to be more books. Haha, little do you know, we've been writing so many books.
So many books. So the next book that we have coming out later this year is called A Jump Through Time, and this is going to feature the Time Force Rangers, also a perennial favorite. So again, new threats, new locations, other bonus materials, just tons more content to make your games even better, even though we know that you're already going to be amazing because you've watched so many Power Rangers, you have lots of good ideas. This just sort of makes it a little bit easier for you. So that should be fun.
Yep.
All right, but that's not all we have for Power Rangers.
No. All right.
I'm a little bit excited for this, actually.
I see what's on the list. All right.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I can't wait.
Right.
So there's this thing that we wanted to do where we thought that everyone who plays the RPG could be friends with everyone who plays Heroes of the Grid, right? There's maybe something that they have in common. So what would that be?
We wanted to make a thing because in both of those games, you roll lots of dice. So we wanted to make something that role players could use, the Heroes of the Grid players can use. You can roll dice together and go to Dice Nirvana and have a thing that's super cool. So I'm going to drop my virtual background and show you what's on the table behind me.
I can't wait for this. I'm gonna have this on my table.
So I dropped my thing. I'm gonna move out of the way, and I'm gonna pick the camera up and show you a little closer. So we have Zordon Dice Tower that has a removable deluxe, like super thick GM screen that then can attach to it. So the GM can sit behind the dice tower and drop dice in from the top and roll out on the table. But then if you're a Heroes of the Grid player, the GM screen is removable and you can just have your Zordon Dice Tower part of your game. So let me pick up the camera and bring it a little closer so you can see what we've got going on here. All right, there we go. So we'll come around.
That's hopefully a big table, and there's lots of stuff on it.
Yeah, so here's the box. Come in here, like here's the box, compatible with Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid and the Power Rangers role-playing game. And now we're gonna move in and give you a shot of Zordon in his dice tower. So this comes unpainted, and this prototype was painted by Daddy Louie. So he actually got to paint this for everybody. So you can see Zordon there. You know, so you grab your dice, it goes through the dice tower and it comes out of the dice tower, like the way dice towers work. And then this is a GM screen for the role-playing game that, of course, my cord is not long enough to go around the back, but it has all the GM's information on the back. So you can see that. Oh, also, you know, here's a little, my Little Pony, dice bag, and of course our rule book. But yeah, all right, I'll give you one more shot so you can see Zordon in his tower there. But yeah, we are super excited about this. This is amazing. The team's been working on this for, I don't know, at least a year. It's pretty awesome.
So whether you're a Heroes of the Grid fan or an RPG fan, or maybe possibly even both, this will be useful for you. So if you're rolling dice, now you can roll them through Zordon, and that makes it better. Like, you're just gonna roll better, right?
Right. So somebody just asked in chat, are those smaller dice? No, this dice tower will work with Heroes of the Grid, big chunky dice, and of course, regular, RPGs, kind of sized dice that we're making for all our RPGs and that are commonly available everywhere in the world. No, that dice tower will roll a handful of Heroes of the Grid giant chunky dice. There's no way we would have made it and not be able to roll Heroes of the Grid dice through there. We are so invested in our Heroes of the Grid dice that
It's
it had to work. Yeah.
And somebody was asking if there are LEDs in there. There actually aren't. It's just that fabulous. It just looks like there are.
Yeah, it just looks great. I don't have any special lighting in here. I mean, just my regular lighting. Yeah, it just looks cool. You paint it up. Yeah, it looks amazing. It's super cool. So,
and we'll be posting some close-up photos of that pretty soon because Daddy Louie did an awesome job and we really want to show it off. So we'll post those by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, it has lots of texture and everything there. It's not super hard to paint, but Louie made it look awesome for sure. So there you go, the dice tower.
That is going to be on pre-order later this spring, actually. And in May, and it's going to be part of the pre-order that we do with our next Heroes of the Grid campaign. And the first expansion we wanted to talk about for that is called Light and Darkness. So Scott, I don't know if you know much about this one yet, but this cover is amazing and it really shows off the uniqueness of this set. So in this set, there's going to be characters, rangers, that have a dark side. So for example, you might see on there Heckle, who is the Dino Charge Dark Ranger, and his alternate personality Snide. And this whole expansion is themed around that. And you'll see 5 different rangers on the cover with their alternate personalities. And we're not going to tell you a ton more because we have lots to reveal about that as we get closer, but that pre-order is going to be in May.
Yep. Tune in for sure. All right.
The next thing that we wanted to share with you is villain pack number 5, Terror Through Time. This will also be part of that same pre-order campaign, and we will share more about that as you get closer. But if you can recognize any of the characters on the package, well, you better put those in the Facebook group. Tell us all about them.
Nice.
That way I don't have to try and pronounce their names. Oh, no. And all of our Power Rangers games are going to be in a deep dive panel on Saturday that starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to do some more live reveals. We're going to do some more in-depth study of each one of these. So don't miss that. That'll be tomorrow. All right. Is that it for Power Rangers?
That's it for Power Rangers. My earbuds are like screaming at me in my ear saying like you've gone too long, so I'm going to switch my headphones really quick here to plugged in because I knew I was going to have to get up, so I went with the wireless ones, but now I'm going to go to wired ones that will not die.
Well, while Scott's doing that, I just want to make sure everybody knows the next thing that we're going to be talking about is World of Darkness, and there's going to be a World of Darkness reveals and deep dive panel with Justin Achille and Elisa Teague that starts at 5 o'clock Pacific time tonight, and so in just a couple hours, and they're going to be going into all sorts of really fun things. But oh my goodness, the first thing we have to share you is a pretty big deal. I know the team has been working on this for a long time, so show the slide, Chris.
I'm ready.
The next thing? We're ready.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, so Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition is coming to your tabletop this summer, and this is actually at the printer, right?
It is. It is. The files just went, so it is in production as we speak.
And so if you don't know much about this, of course, most of you probably have heard of Vampire the Masquerade, where you get to play as vampires in the World of Darkness. This is a little bit different. So Scott, who do you get to play in this book?
So in this world, kind of slice of the World of Darkness, you are normal people, for the most part, that have kind of suspected that there's something going on in the world that might not be what everybody thinks. So you are exploring and hunting and unraveling the mystery of the supernatural, right? So whether it's vampires or werewolves or ghosts, there's magic in the world, just all of these things. It's really, really interesting and cool. I personally really like this kind of approach to the World of Darkness. Like, I'm excited about it. So for people that like maybe a campaign that, you know, kind of flips the script a little bit, right, where you're not necessarily one of, you know, these are the immortals and a supernatural bad guy. You're maybe on a little kind of the other side of the spectrum. This is for you. It's worth checking out. It's super cool. We're really excited about it, and this is right around the corner. The book's going to be coming out in June, so it's here. Like we're right on top of it.
And if you want to get a little sneak preview of this book and see how it works and see everything about it, well, we're actually doing an actual play of Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition that starts April 27th. So if you've watched our Nightlife actual play that happened late last year, this is going to be similar to that, but of course now with Hunter instead. So we're really excited to share that with everybody. That'll be a first good look. And of course, we didn't want to leave you hanging with just the core book. So we also have a dice set and also a character journal on the way for this as well.
Yep, character journal. And so is this one up for pre-order today?
Yes. So again, if you pre-order this, you're going to get a free PDF of the book when we get a little bit closer. And also this will be available on Roll20. So you'll have lots of options to get to play this. And yeah, pre-order now.
Yep. And starting on April 27th, we're going to launch an actual play series for this.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So if you'd like to check it out and you're unfamiliar with this with Hunter, you can tune in and you can watch it there and learn all about it. And that'll lead up for about 6 weeks. I think it's 6 or 8 weeks of episodes. And check it out even before the book releases. So there you go. Right here on Twitch. It'll be on Wednesdays, I believe. Is that correct?
Right? Yep. Wednesdays starting April 27th. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's it for Hunter. Of course, we will have more in the future, but that's all we're revealing for today. But we have lots and lots going on in the other half of World of Darkness, which is Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Right. Starting with a book that is actually coming out in just a few weeks now. So Second Inquisition is releasing in early April, but the PDF is going to be available on March 16th for anybody who pre-orders. So you still have some time, pre-order now, and then on March 16th, you'll get that dropped straight to your account and you'll be able to download it immediately.
Yeah.
And that is up for pre-order now.
Yep, right on. And so that one's on the way. And we've also, to help cut down on shipping delays from us getting things, a lot of our books moving forward are printing domestically, and we're also opening up a new printer on the European continent as well. So that should help speed things up a little bit for everybody. We're very happy about that. So Second Inquisition, but then next, also right around the corner, this book is at the printer as we speak, is Cults of the Blood Gods source book. So this book had previously been released by Onyx Path during a Kickstarter campaign, and it's been available as like a print-on-demand book, and of course as a PDF for quite a while. But we are putting the book out in a full, wide retail release, hardcover format, of course. We've given it an editing pass and just kind of cleaned up some stuff and made sure that it's as tight as possible. So this is also releasing. Probably be, I would guess, late May would be my guess, but it's at the printer right now as we speak, and it's being printed here domestically. So turnaround will be quick. Yep.
Excellent.
Nice.
Cool. So that's also up for pre-order now as well. Yep. And I did see some chatter about this in the chat channel. People saw that awesome Hunter character journal and said, but I play vampire, where's mine? Ta-da!
Of course.
So of course, if you also want a character journal for your Vampire Masquerade 5th edition campaign or chronicles, then we've got you set all for you.
Yeah, and like we've mentioned before, the previous RPG discussions, this is not just a notebook with a bunch of lined paper. It's a incredibly in-depth player character sheet and has lots of space for you to fill in stuff, not just about your character, but about the other characters in your story and part of your group. So check it out. These are really cool and special, and they should all be releasing right around June.
And all of them, it's hard to see in these pictures, but that cover icon, they're foil in all of the character journals. So when you actually see them in your hands, they're going to be really shiny.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Super cool. All right. So next up, we have a new source book coming for Vampire the Masquerade. This one is in the works. So Hot Summer Nights is coming later. So this is going to focus on a yet to be determined, but you might suspect where we're going with this, vibrant metropolitan city. We also have an actual play set in Miami called Nightlife. So that might give you some clues like what we're planning for this. What we might be doing, but still, still in the works. We don't want to give away too much, but this is in the works for a release this year in the future. And Nightlife, the actual play series, season 1 is up on YouTube now. You can tune in and watch the whole thing. It's been really fun. And season 2 is starting on June 8th. So be sure to tune in on June 8th, right after the Hunter series is over. Nightlife will pick up. And we do have plans for now that we've introduced, we do have plans now that we've introduced Hunter officially into the 5th edition world. It wouldn't be surprising to me if characters from these series don't encounter each other, and things happen. Things always happen. So it might be fun.
That sounds very suspenseful.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, I've enjoyed looking at the story and content plans for that as we plot all this stuff out. It's been really a blast to do.
Nice.
All right. What's next?
Well, another thing that we really just want to make a big deal about supporting our players, making it easier to just get into the fun parts of our games. And so we are putting out a slightly modified version of the discipline card packs that are currently available on our website. And so our new versions, they're going to include even more disciplines, because we want to make sure that no matter what discipline you're playing, you're supported with these, and also updating the design of them as well. So those are coming out a little bit later this year. We don't have them up for pre-order quite yet, but I believe that there is a promotion going on this weekend where if you just want the current discipline card packs, you can get those for free with a bundle. So check out our Discord channel for more details about that. But yes, we're updating those discipline card packs. So that'll be really great. Make it a little easier to sit down at the table and play. And then our next source book, this one's actually getting pretty close. I believe this is right around the corner. Yeah,
this one's going to release next after the other stuff that we've talked about. The city source book, the city source book will actually come after this one. So we have these a little out of order, but that's okay.
All right.
That's all right. Sorry. Again, lots of stuff. So Blood Sigils is getting close to wrapping up right now. So this is a look at the underground, the kind of the blood magic scene in the World of Darkness. This is going to include information on blood sorcery rituals, amphibian alchemy, monsters and dangers and lore sheets, all this awesome stuff to weave into your chronicle. So again, deep dive, tune into that. And I think that they're actually going to have a lot of stuff for this one to reveal, because like I said, writing's done, it's wrapping up. Like this is just kind of like in those final stages of post-production before we ship it off to the printer. So Blood Sigils, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Also, if you are maybe a little bit newer to World of Darkness, or if you have players and you want to get them into a Chronicle fast and teach them how to play, we are putting out a starter set that's coming later this year. And we don't have a ton of details that we're revealing about that. So make sure you stay tuned, follow us on our social media channels, and sign up for our newsletter, because we'll be putting out a lot more details about that very soon.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And again, like, we're trying to grow the audience and bring more people into World of Darkness. So we want to give current players tools that allow them to bring new players in, and then new players that are starting from scratch. So a starter set seems like a good thing.
Also, along those lines, we also have a player's guide coming out later this year that will cover everything a player needs to know.
That's
I
right.
assume, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep, that one's getting pretty close to wrapping up too, probably another month or so. Yeah, so totally focused on players. Again, tune in. They'll be talking about it, tell you some stuff. So we also have, there was this kind of back catalog of content that was released previously, like in limited release, again, was on Kickstarter, and then primarily just like print on demand and PDF. And we want to make sure that those books are available to people that want to put them on their shelf. We want to get them out into retail stores so we can, again, grow the audience and make these easily available to everybody everywhere. So we have a long list of books. Well, not long. It's a list of books, but it's pretty good. That are all coming to hardcover and will be released pretty much like every few months for the rest of the year. So we have like Cults of the Blood Gods that we did mention. And then also on that list is Let the Streets Run Red, Trails of Ash and Bone, Fall of London is getting a reprint. Children of Blood is coming out in wide release. And then we're also working on a reprint and updating Chicago by Night. So we know a lot of people have been asking for a Chicago by Night book. It's being worked on right now. It's pretty close. It'll probably be going off to the printer, give it another 4 weeks or so. It'll be rock solid. So lots of stuff in the works, putting some content out there in wide release that maybe have limited release before, and then a whole lineup of brand new books and brand new content between now and the end of the year. And we'll probably have some surprises as we get closer to October as well, because we haven't revealed everything for this one. We didn't get quite there for this panel, but we had a lot of stuff to share with you. So yeah.
Also, just so you know, any of those books that you pre-order through the renegadegames.com website, you do get a free PDF if you pre-order, and we drop those PDFs a couple weeks before the book actually gets to your house. So a little bit of an early sneak preview, and also just a free PDF, because again, we know those are useful and we like to make people happy and give them what we would want. And that's something we all decided we wanted. So there we go.
So I see people asking in the chat about Werewolf. Don't worry, Werewolf is in the works. It has not been forgotten. The World of Darkness team is working on it very diligently. They want it to be as awesome as they possibly can. We're not going to rush anything out until everybody is thrilled with it. So it's coming. Don't worry. There'll probably be more news this year. There's probably going to be more news about even something else that's pretty huge that we didn't tell you today. Don't worry, World of Darkness fans.
Just wait.
Just wait. Ask the Heroes of the Grid fans. They'll tell you.
That's right.
Sometimes you've just got to wait. But don't worry. It's being worked on.
It is coming.
It is coming for sure.
And in the meantime, this weekend on Saturday at 6:30 p.m., we're actually closing out the con with a building antagonists panel. So if you want to learn what to do with your Sabbat and Second Inquisition books and get a really good handle on that, that's going to be an awesome panel. We're really looking forward to some good advice on that.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So that's it for what we're going to tell you about for this year for Vampire the Masquerade RPG, but we also still want to make sure that we tell our Vampire the Masquerade Rivals expandable card game players what we have in store for them this year. And very similar to our deck building game fans from Power Rangers, Transformers, and G.I. Joe and My Little Pony, we have lots that we've been working on. That card game team, man, they are on fire.
Yeah, they're busy.
Yes. So the first thing that we have coming out that I believe some of you have already pre-ordered is Shadows and Shrouds. This expansion is coming out in March. We're very close to that. And it focuses on La Sombra. Oh my goodness. La Sombra and Hecate clans. It's getting late. We're right out of time.
Sarah's running out of steam.
That's right. Oh, and then we have a little bit of a different format for our next one. So what's going on with Heart of Europe expansion?
Oh, so this is going to feature a whole new city. We are going to Prague. So get ready, buckle up. Let's take a hop across the globe over to Prague. So this is going to kind of moved to a new area, new cards, new coteries, and all that sort of stuff. And
also, I promised Matt Hyro we wouldn't talk about these very much because he's so excited to share everything about this in the 4 p.m. panel later today.
It's really funny too, because everybody else's stuff, like the brand teams were like, well, you can mention this, but you know, here's the stuff like we don't want you to mention. We're going to tell you not. Like this stuff is all like the name of it, and then it's like, don't say anything else. You know, like in our show notes, Matt Hyra's like, don't steal my thunder, dude. So
it's true. He's so excited to share these with you. So make sure you show up
yes.
4 o'clock today.
So that just means that Matt is going to just spill all the beans and tell you everything you want to know. So it's good. It's good. Okay. So the Heart of Europe goes to Prague. And then we have one more release before the end of the year, The Dragon and the Rogue.
And this is going to feature the Ravenos clan and Samichi clan. So that should be a good addition to what you already have.
Your pronunciation wasn't bad. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Let's try to gloss over that real quick.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we have for World of Darkness. And our next panel up is already probably screaming at us, and we're not even done yet. We still have so many games to tell you about, so we're gonna go through these a little bit quick. But also, just to reiterate, if you are excited about Rivals, tune in at 4 o'clock p.m. If you're excited about just the World of Darkness in general, that's also the right time, 4 o'clock p.m. today. So make sure to tune in. All right, Renegade, other games that we haven't talked about yet. We have a pretty big announcement that may have been slightly spoiled on BGG already.
I think it was slightly spoiled, but that was maybe part of the plan. So we know that we have some fans tuning in. There was a game that was put out by another publisher that is now kind of closed up shop, and they had an expansion that was announced that never saw the light of day. So we've taken over a game called Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done, by Seth Jaffe. Seth is a friend of ours, and he's an awesome designer. And when he asked us if we would be interested in publishing Crusaders, we told him absolutely we would. And so now we are taking over the game. The core game is being reprinted like literally right now as we speak. We are also putting up the deluxe again. So the deluxe was available in very limited quantities in the past, and we would like people to be able to get it again. We understand there's some people out there that missed out. So this one is going to be kind of a print to order scenario. You can pre-order it off of our website, and then we're going to make a very limited number of these, and then we're done. But then the other thing that people have really been asking about, because this was, I guess, announced and kind of promised to people and then never saw the light of day, is the Divine Intervention expansion. So the Divine Intervention expansion exists. It was printed. It's been sitting at a printer across the ocean for quite a while. We are freeing those from that printer. We have made a deal and gotten them free. They are getting on a boat as soon as they possibly can. And they will be making their way across the ocean to us, and we will be able to get those into people's hands and make them available to everybody that would like one, and then put it into distribution, retail stores, and everybody else will be getting it. So Crusaders fans, we got you covered.
Excellent.
Did I miss anything?
No, but I failed you, Scott. I had in our show notes the wrong date. It's Divine Influence, not Divine Intervention. I'm so sorry. So Divine Influence, yes. I
literally have one sitting over. I literally have one sitting over here on the floor, and I'm reading from my thing. Thanks, Sarah.
My bad. I had to move mine because my dog was trying to eat them earlier today. But yes, these do exist. They're real, and they're coming very soon. Yeah. We can't wait. Yeah. And our Euro fans also have more to be excited about, because Circadians, which is a fantastic game that was previously printed by Garfield, they have decided to do a second edition of that. So it's Circadian's First Light second edition, and it's mostly just art upgrades and iconography updates, because this game is amazing. I think it's one of those hidden gems. If you haven't played it yet, it's fantastic. And in addition to that, we also have Circadian's Chaos Order, which is in the same world, but a completely different game. These two are not compatible. They're two totally standalone games. This one is an asymmetrical area control game, a lot more conflict and battling than there is in First Light. And this is coming out later this year in the summer. So we're excited to continue working with our friends over at Garphill on this one. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, Shem's awesome. All right, next up. So there's a whole unboxing for. Let's go to My Father's Work real quick. So this is releasing, you know, everything in the world is taking a little longer to move, but it's right now we're projecting it'll be releasing in April. But we have an unboxing at 2 p.m. today, which will probably not be 2 p.m. today, probably closer to 2:30 today, because, you know, there's just
sorry.
Scott and Sarah have a lot to say, and I mean, come on, people, you should have known, like, give us more time. But, you know, there you go. But we have real live early, you know, had to fly them in production copies that TC and I think it's TC and Dan, but it's definitely TC are going to be unboxing and showing you this. This thing is just freaking huge. There's so much stuff. The components in this thing are like literally, like, I always joke around like the Jurassic Park line, like spare no expense. This was the spare no expense. Like every flavor of ice cream is in the kitchen, sort of a thing. Like however we could make the components the most amazing version of those components we could. You know, the trays are awesome and everything else. So tune in for the unboxing. It's going to be exciting. So this thing is just absolutely crazy.
It's very impressive. I don't know though. So I'm not sure because I haven't seen a final version. Is My Father's Work bigger or smaller than our next game, Artisans of Splendid Vale?
By weight, I think Artisans may have it beat by actual just density and weight. Number of things, it's close, but Artisans of the Splendid Vale has become like absolutely outrageous. Like,
got a little out of control, actually.
Yeah.
So this game, if you're an RPG fan, you've probably heard of Legacy of Dragonholt, and that's by Nikki Valens. And they decided that they wanted to make another game that sort of is, in a lot of ways, a spiritual successor to that, but it has a lot of that DNA in it, and that's Artisans of Splendid Vale. I played Legacy of Dragonholt during the pandemic over Zoom with some friends and just had an absolute blast with it. So I can't tell you how excited I am for this game.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Wait, when you say compared to Legacy of Dragonholt, like one player's book is almost as thick as the box of Legacy of Dragonholt. It's absolutely insane. Like that picture on the screen, like I could fit 4 cats in that box, right? Like I measure boxes by how many cats can fit in them. Like that's a 4-cat box, easy. Probably comfortably, like maybe 5 if they want to be squished, but like, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, we basically told Nikki, do the exact thing that you want to do. Go crazy, make this your baby, and just put all the stuff in the box. And so yeah, just the books for this are crazy. There's a picture that shows what we thought they were going to be and what they ended up being. Nikki wrote so much content for this game. It is unbelievable. There's also a really good shut up and sit down preview of this from their last Shucks, which was in last fall, I believe. So go and check that out. He does a great job of sharing information about this. He actually got an early prototype and got to play parts of it. So I think you'll really enjoy that. But this is coming out this fall. We still have it up for pre-order on our website. So if you didn't get a chance to do it during the Kickstarter, don't worry, it's still available. And we have plushies for it now. So make sure to check those out too.
Yeah, the plushes are cool. All right, next up.
Okay, we're going back to Garphill Games to let everybody know. I believe you should already know about this. If you're excited about Architects of the West Kingdom, we do have an expansion coming out for this. Also a collector's box and a playmat. There's lots coming out, and these are all coming out in May. And then sorry, I don't have a picture for this quite yet, but we do also have Wayfarers of the South Tigris. They'll be coming out in Q4. So it's a little bit of a spoiler. Garphill Games is making a whole new trilogy. Of course, they did Raiders of the North Sea, Architects of the West Kingdom, And now they're going to the South with Wayfarers of the South Tigris as their first one. So watch out for more news about that coming out later. It's a little bit of a super early spoiler for you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
All right.
also we're so close. We're gonna make it in only an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure. So if you've been following along, we just recently wrapped up a Kickstarter for a new game in our solo hero series, Recon Run. And we are going to be putting up late pledges for that very, very soon. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, don't worry, you'll have another chance to jump in. If you like solo games, this is going to be awesome. If you don't like solo games, don't worry, you should play this anyway. It's a campaign style game. So you could actually, if you really wanted to, just go through the campaign with a friend and you would still get that full experience. So if you want to race through an apocalyptic wasteland in your car and give it upgrades and new weapons and do your best to survive, this is the game for you.
Nice.
Very fun.
I'm in love with the art for that one.
Oh, the art turned out fabulously.
Yeah.
And it's just a fast-paced, suspenseful, fun, intense game. So it fits really well with that art. And also along with that Kickstarter, we also did an expansion for another solo hero series game that we put out last year, which is Warp's Edge. This has all new content in it, more challenges, more ships to try and battle. And there's also a token upgrade kit that's on our website that will be part of this. They'll be up on our website soon. And you'll be able to late pledge for that as well when we get those late pledges up along with Recon Run. So those are sort of wrapped up together and they will both be shipping in November.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and then
Capers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them about Crimes and Capers.
Okay, so this is something I don't even think Scott knows about me, but I freaking love murder mysteries. Like almost all the TV that I watch are British crime shows, like 99% of it. So I'm very excited that the next game in our Crimes and Capers line is And the Winner is Dead. And it's essentially a murder mystery that you play cooperatively with a group of friends where you're trying to figure out who murdered somebody at the music awards show. And you're given different roles. So each person is going to play as a different person that was at the awards show. You each get different information, different clues that you share with each other to try and figure out the ultimate murder mystery. There's even a locked purse in this one where you have to figure out the combination for the lock. You open up the purse, you get more clues to figure out the ultimate solution to the puzzle. I love these. There's so much content in there. There's so much good stuff to dig into. Just really, really fun.
Yep, it's awesome. And the designers for the Crimes and Capers stuff are insane. My favorite thing is their publicity photo is the two of them in straitjackets. So, so it's Julianne and Ariel, and they're amazing designers. And that photo of them in straitjackets, I think, is very telling.
It is. Yeah, they're escape room designers, which fits with that photo very well. And they do a good job with these games. Yeah. So that's coming out. It actually just landed in our warehouse this week. So it's coming out March 23rd. And you can pre-order on our website right now. Yeah. So next game on our list.
Yeah.
This one is a follow-up to a game that we put out at the very, very beginning of Renegade, like the very first year of Renegade.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we figured we'd go back to it because even now is on top of our list of games that we sell every year. Like people just love this game. So Fuse is the game we're talking about, and we are doing a standalone expansion of this called Fuse Countdown. And we just got this artwork from the artist literally yesterday. So we don't have a final cover for you. This isn't all of it. We're only showing you a little tiny sliver. Yeah. But we'll have more of this soon. And this is, like I said, a standalone expansion, and it's going to have split dice. If you've ever played Fuse, it's a 10-minute game, very suspenseful, cooperative. And this time you have to think even a little bit harder because the dice don't only have one number on them. They're now split down the middle with more than one thing.
Right. And it's really cool that this is a standalone and an expansion. So you can play it on your own, or you can mix it in there. And for those of you that don't know Fuse, this is real time. There's a timer. It's incredibly tense. And Kane Kalenko is like literally probably the best real time designer in the industry. Like just super intense, really, really fun. We put degrees of like, you can play through like basic mode all the way to like, you know, impossible mode type stuff where you're just going to torture yourself. Good luck beating that, the highest level, but some people have. Occasionally, I haven't.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
So more fun
yeah.
challenges there. And King Klinko is a very, very good designer. And we recently had the chance to pick up one of his older games, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and reprint this. And we just barely put this out. It's available now. And we also have the Kraken expansion out as well too. The base game comes with all the miniatures that were in the miniatures pack originally, so you don't need to buy that as a separate thing. It's all included in that base game. And then the Kraken expansion has even more scary threats and more scary things to deal with, as if that game weren't challenging enough.
It has tentacles because, you know, the Kraken and stuff. So yeah, those of you, if you haven't played Dead Men Tell No Tales, probably one of the best cooperative games out there. Has really been a solid game. And yeah, we were really thrilled to pick it up, not only because the game is amazingly good, but also it's a Kane Klenko game and we love Kane. So there you go. It's like 2 for 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And come and see us at Gen Con and you might get to meet him.
That's right.
You might even be there. All right. I can't wait for this next one. One of the games that really got a lot of people through the last couple of years and introduced tons of people to games in general was a game that we came out with right in the middle of 2020, which is Search for Planet X. And tons of people really enjoyed that one. And we thought hard about how to do something else with it, how to expand it, how to make something that would make the game bigger and better and more amazing. And honestly, it was just really good. The game is amazing already. So we decided that instead we talked to the designers and they had an idea for another game using a lot of the same mechanics, but adding a whole other layer to this game. So we have created the Search for Lost Species. And in this game, similar to the Search for Planet X, instead of looking for a planet, you're now looking for species that were previously thought to be extinct, but actually are out there in the wild. You just have to find them. And we've done a lot of really cool things with this one. We're going to be making it using all eco-friendly components. We're working with a conservation group that we're going to put out an announcement and talk more about in the future. And we're just doing a lot of really cool things with this one. And excited to be working with the same designers of the Search for Planet X. So like I said, it'll be very similar. I'll have an app that goes with it. But in this one, you actually have a map that you're moving around on the board. And I'm sure that in the next panel that is waiting for us to wrap up, they will go into a lot more details about this.
Yep. All right. 2 more things. 2 more.
We're so close. All right. Birdwatcher. If you didn't see this Kickstarter, this is by our friends and partners at Oni Games. And this is a beautiful card game about being a photographer and photographing birds of paradise. So the art for this also is just especially stunning. It's all from Lauren Helton. She's an artist with the Institute of Bird Populations and also a real life scientist and researcher. And I just can't get over how beautiful the artwork for the cards is and the box and everything. So check this one out. You can go see all about it on their Kickstarter page. Look for Oni Games, look for Birdwatcher on Kickstarter. And we will be publishing this and it'll be coming out in October. Last game. I'm excited.
Yeah, Richard Garfield. What's there not to be excited about? Yeah.
So late last year, we put out The Hunger, and it honestly, we sold out of it immediately. People love Richard Garfield. They love being able to play deck building games where you play as vampires and you get to hunt things. And so we decided to make an expansion for it. And this expansion called High Stakes is going to allow people to interact a little bit more. And so you actually get to attack your opponents. And this expansion also holds a lot of cards and allows you to organize things a little bit. So you've got your base game. This is an expansion, does require the base game to play. And also there's an event deck that'll kind of mess with you as it goes. So again, lots more information about this in the panel that we are currently holding up that starts right after this. So don't leave.
Don't leave. Yeah. But wait, there's more. So let's, all right. So that's a lot of stuff. Hopefully there's lots of good stuff in there for everybody. We've got lots of really awesome communities. Really, I think we have like the best players. So, you know, jump into Discord, jump into our Facebook groups. If your game has Facebook group, talk about it. We're always watching. We love feedback. We're always planning. I think what you've seen today is representative of that. We try to give people what they want when we can. But let's just give them one more rundown, Sarah, before we go, of where they should tune in for each of the major reveal panels, and then let's get out of here so they can get going.
All right, G.I. Joe starts at 2:30 p.m. today, Pacific time, Friday. Transformers, 2 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday. That's tomorrow. Yep. My Little Pony, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday tomorrow. Power Rangers, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, Saturday. World of Darkness, 4 p.m. Pacific time today. And Renegade Originals, which is all the stuff at the end that we talked about, that starts right now.
Right now. And you know, and these times are suggestions, not strict. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of stuff to show you. We went over an hour, which we pretty well knew that we were going to, but you know, stick with it, hang out. If you do miss any of the panels, don't sweat it. They're going to be up on YouTube next week, so you can catch up with them on YouTube. Be sure to jump into Discord and everything else. Lots of Renegade staff will be hanging out throughout the weekend and talking and answering questions and, you know, just having a good time. So thank you once again. It's a ton of stuff. Hopefully there's lots of amazing things for you to play and have fun with. So we'll see you, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.